was younger, I saw my daddy cry and curse at the wind. He broke his own heart and I watched as he tried to reassemble it. And my mama swore that she would never let herself forget. And that was the day that I promised I'd never sing of love if it does not exist. Darling, you are the only exception. 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 Maybe I felt somewhere deep in my soul that love never lasts, and we've got to find other ways to make it alone or keep a straight face. And I've always lived like this, keeping a comfortable distance. And up until now I have sworn to myself that I'm content with loneliness, because none of it was ever worth the risk. Well, you are the only exception. 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 I've got a tight grip on reality, but I can't let go of what's in front of me here. I know you'll be here in the morning when I wake up. Show me some kind of proof it's not a dream. Whoa, whoa. You are the only exception. 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 And I'm on my way to believing. Oh, and I'm on my way to believing.
Hello everyone, and welcome to today's Sunday service meditation. Please find a comfortable space, close your eyes, and take a deep breath, focusing on your heart center. As you exhale, release any tension and worry, allowing your body and mind to surrender to the present moment. Imagine a vast mountain range before you, symbolizing the challenges life presents. Picture yourself navigating its peaks and valleys, understanding that persistence is your guide through difficulties. Through these difficult terrains, the trials are just stepping stones in your path, and with each step, you cultivate strength and power. In the heart of the struggle, acknowledge that the journey itself is the catalyst for growth, and through persistence, success unfolds. Now, shift your awareness inward to your heart's depth and focus on the self-healing process. Envision a radiant light enveloping your heart. Then, visualize it expanding in every cell with its warmth. This light emanates from within, and this is a testament to your innate capacity for healing. As you breathe, invite this healing energy, acknowledging that your choice and attention is the source of your change and that you are in power of it. Now, with another deep breath, take a look at your consciousness, your own garden filled with thoughts and emotions. Embrace the responsibility of tending to this garden with diligence. Like a caretaker, you remove the weeds of negativity and nurture the seeds of positivity. Accept the process of purification as a natural evolution, allowing clarity to flow through you like a cleansing stream. In this moment, recognize that the power to shape your reality rests in your hands, and with each mindful breath, you sculpt the landscape of your own consciousness. Gratitude, like a gentle breeze, sweeps through the garden of your mind. Take a moment to reflect on the blessings that surround you, appreciating each and every experience you've had, and the future ones that will come too. Let gratitude be the soil from which joy blossoms into you. With a heart open to thankfulness, you anchor yourself in the present. As you sit in this space of tranquility, feel the power of your choice and make a new choice to always be persistent and on top of your spiritual well-being. For this is your responsibility. Forging from within first, always. When you are ready to return to your surroundings, carry with you the essence of this meditation. With a deep breath in, you can open your eyes. Thank you for listening, and Namaste.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's card reading. My name is Arshia. Today's card deck I have chosen is the Angel Guide card deck by Kyle Gray. Because today is about pitfalls, I thought that some loving support and guidance from the angels would be nice for everyone to move through it. The Earth and Ground, that is the first card I received. The cards are already pre-shuffled, so this card came inverted, which means this message needs special attention to. You have to pay special attention to it, and wherever you are ungrounded, wherever you are feeling scattered, you need to ground yourself now. Take some time out and do the meditation and ground. Help yourself come back to yourself and call all those scattered parts back to yourself and ground yourself. See where you are leaking your energy. See where you are scattering yourself. Are you taking up too much work, or are you overdoing it? What is the exact reason? Are you overthinking, or are you struggling? What is the reason that is making you ungrounded? First, come into that awareness. For that, just pause, take a breath, do a meditation, or just come back into your heart, come back to presence and see where you're doing this. Come back to your own body, come back to your own energy, let go of scattering yourself and ground. And for this, the angels are supporting you. Help the earth angels to help you ground, to help you call all of yourself back to yourself. The earth angels are supporting you. That's why this card. So yes, that's the first card. Now the second one is blessings and abundance. As you can see, this card is also beautiful. There's a lot of support coming through from the angels in this one also. So you can see blessings and abundance. The thing is that it is cultivated with your energy. Your blessings and abundance does not come from outside. So if you are running around looking for manifesting something that you want, like your life purpose or your harmonious union or your union or your twin flame, whatever it is, if you are running around outside, then you are getting scattered. This is like a part 2 of the card 1. So somewhere, if you're looking outside, call your energy back to yourself. Come back to mirror exercise, come back to the basics, come back to the basics of the teachings, and come back to peace. And once you come back to peace, you stay there. You stay there and cultivate the peace. And from this peace, you choose your success. From this peace, you choose your abundance and blessings. That is how blessings and abundance are manifested. Nobody is going to come and give you the blessings and abundance. You have to manifest it with God within you. How do you receive God within you? When you hold peace, God can come and flow through you. God is the source which can flow through you. God is not someone outside who will come and rescue you or scoop you up. You have to channel God through you. For you to channel God through you, you have to come into peace. And from this place of peace, you have to hold peace. From this place of peace, you can manifest your blessings and abundance. So this card is again very, very powerful. A lot of message coming through this card. So what it is saying is also that don't let go of your peace. Like once you have done your mirror exercise, then let's say you receive an emergency call from work. Will you choose to get worried and tensed, or will you just take a breath and process it, and then from there you will take care of your emergency or any worry from a place of peace? If you deal with your challenges, you would be easily able to move through and cross through and become successful. So the angels are blessing you, the angels of blessings and guidance and abundance are blessing you into abundance. Actually, the angels are blessing, choose to receive it and bless yourself into abundance. This is what is coming up in this card. And the final card is clear, cancel and release. There you go. This is very powerful, strong, loving card. Clear, cancel and release. So as I can see, very clear message again from the angels that what do you need to clear? What do you need to cancel? What do you need to release? Ask yourself. What is it that you are holding on to? Are you holding on to control? Are you holding on to fear? Are you flowing with fear? Are you flowing with anything that is not of love? Then clear, cancel, and release it. It's just a choice. It is just a choice away. And you see this energy? It's like boundaries. So, what I can see is boundaries with the ego. Ego's voice is chaotic, loud, and you will not be able to listen to God if there is too much chaos. So just block it first. To block it, like in the second card, it said, just go back to yourself, meditate, sit down, go back to mirror exercise, and center yourself first, so that you block all this chaos, noises. Come into your heart space and keep boundaries with these noises within you. These noises, everything is within you. Nobody is doing this to you. If you are choosing to get worried over what somebody is saying, then you have chosen that voice, right? So just block that voice and choose to listen to the divine wisdom in you. Everybody has divine wisdom in them. So you choose to listen to your divine wisdom and then let go of what you don't need. Your divine wisdom can peacefully guide you back to your success, back to your true self, back to grounding. So the angels here are supporting you for this also. Call in the angels to just clear and help you release everything as the card reading is happening. So the message is pretty clear, loud. This will help you through your pitfalls, and you are very supported. I hope you enjoy the rest of the sermon. Thank you so much. God bless.
Hello everyone, I'm Neelam. Welcome to the Church of Union Sunday service. I take the privilege today to invite Minister Lizzie to present today's sermon. The topic of the sermon revolves around the obstacles that arise in our spiritual journey. This is such a profound piece because it completely resonated with me the moment I heard the topic, because it feels like obstacles have always been a part of the journey. And when I say obstacles, it means places where I wanted to give up, places where I felt not enough, places I felt I'm doing the wrong thing. There were doubts. So there were so many places where I felt the journey was just not linear. It wasn't smooth. There were those hiccups, I would call them, which Lizzie talks about in the sermon as, terming them as pitfalls. So these have been a part of my journey. I recollect when I learned the mirror exercise at the start, and I would get that instant peace when I would do my inner work with my coach, and with the Twin Flame Ascension School classes and the volunteering work later on, everything kind of made me feel I'm there, like it's happening. Yes, it's feeling joyful, it's feeling good. But then there would always be those places where doubt would seep in, where I would want to quit, where I would feel things are not moving and it's so slow, and all of that would happen. And I think these are kind of obstacles that arise in everyone's twin flame journey, every spiritual journey, in fact, because Lizzie talks about it in the sermon, which we all will get to hear, that it is something that we can become aware of, and we have a solution on how to deal with it, how to keep the vibration high, how to stay in that high vibrational energy constantly, persisting in our work. And yeah, I remember places also where I wanted to quit. It was not one time, maybe a couple of times when I felt I'm doing the work, but there is this place where I would want to quit. I would want to give up because I would feel that things are not happening the way I want them to happen in the outside, or I would feel it's too much to handle. It's like too overwhelming sometimes, too much of purging happening, and I would want to, like, I would want to give up and I would want to quit. But then there were these times when, because thankfully I was working with a coach, and, I would come back to my inner work, to my faith on the journey to God, and would get back on track. But if we are given a handbook, like, telling us that these could be the obstacles and this is how you need to handle them, just like this sermon, I would call it as an audio handbook. If we know about it, we can be even more loving and compassionate with ourselves in the journey. And an instance I remember is when I was talking to my coach during one of the group sessions. There was so much of an overwhelming energy, and my coach, tried to ground me, and I had to put a boundary over there to make me realize that I'm depending too much again on the outside, and that could be my coach also. I realized I thought I could do anything with my coach. I thought my coach was there to take all that off, all that emotions of mine, and I could just put it on my coach. But then I was made to realize that this is something I need to handle myself. I need to be grounded when I arrive for the session. So even that was an obstacle, and that also was something I didn't immediately understand. I was made to realize by my coach, and it came gradually into me that yes, this is also an energy leak, and all these kind of things can really hamper the process of the journey. You can consistently stay happy, you can stay joyful, you can enjoy the journey if you know how to handle these obstacles that arise in the journey. And yeah, that's what Lizzie is guiding us in this sermon all about, and helping us, make this journey smooth for ourselves, loving for ourselves, compassionate for ourselves. There's nothing like right and wrong. So it's not like if we do this and if we don't do this and if we be sad, the journey is not going to work for us. We're not going to get our harmonious union. It's nothing of that sort. It's like everything is working for our highest good when we choose to do the inner work and when we choose our harmonious union. But yes, we can always make it more pleasant experience, coaching with a coach, and looking at these obstacles, and dealing with them in the right attitude. These are all ways where we can be more loving towards our journey, and we can consistently be in high vibration, which would definitely attract a harmonious union. Also, I think that everybody on this journey, no matter which stage, some may be very close to the harmonious union, some may already be in harmonious union, some may just be beginners in the journey. No matter which stage we are, I think these obstacles are bound to come in. Maybe not all of them which are mentioned in the sermon, but they are bound to come in, every now and then. They cannot, it's not necessary they'll come in one go also and then they'll never come up again. These are obstacles, like doubts came up again and again in my journey, and they still come up sometimes, and I deal with them more gracefully than I used to before. But I think I learned the process with my coach, did my work, and I educated myself with the classes, and that's how it happened. But it is a process, and it's like these obstacles can keep coming, and we can deal with them with the right attitude and keeping the right energy vibration right from the first very time that these obstacles arise. And this sermon empowers us to do all of that. I feel there were many places where I also felt this is not my twin flame. This is not a twin flame journey. Is something that is I'm making up. My mind is making up, and a lot of, even recently, like with so much of news happening and people doubting the twin flame connections, and all the media thing and all, it kind of made me feel, oh God, questionable. And good it came up, because those questions that arised were something that I dealt with. And they were obstructions, they were obstacles, they were pitfalls, as Lizzie talks about them. But then they were handled, and I came up, I rose from them more higher, gracefully, like a phoenix. And so I think it's all about knowing how to handle those obstacles and keeping the right attitude. And the education that we get over here, the quotes by Jeff and Shaleia that Lizzie will be using in the sermon, are so apt for pinpointing at the solutions that are necessary to handle all these pitfalls. So yeah, I think it's a journey altogether. I think we all have we're going to resonate with this sermon. It's a sermon that's going to touch everyone's heart, because no matter which stage, we are going to resonate with all of them mostly. And yeah, so it's a good sermon, a good handbook, a good guidebook, I would say, to move forward gracefully. Yeah, and I invite you to visit unionism.org and teach there, show your love there, donate over there, so that we can spread the teachings of unionism. And I hope you all enjoy the sermon. I'll meet you at the end. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lisi, and I'm honored to be your Minister of Union today. So get into a comfortable position, sit back, relax, and we're going to start with our 3 opening Oms. You can say them in your heart silently or out loud. And now for our opening prayer. I am the only child of God, forever part of Him. I am created by Him in perfection, and there I always remain. My mind is my sanctuary where I keep His holy creation sacred. I will only allow in His voice. I will only accept His word. Today I will hear the word of God. I surrender myself to His teachings through His divine channel. I will honor what He has spoken and accept it as His will. I will be obedient to His word, for this is my salvation. In Christ's name, Amen. So today I wanted to identify 5 obstacles that are common on the spiritual path and how to resolve them. So some of you may come up on these 5 obstacles, all of them, or 3 or 2 or even 1, but there is a way through, and we need to unpack them and explore them. So I remember when I was watching Twin Flame Ascension School, how Jeff and Shaleia talk about how each block is a gift. And so if you can imagine these 5 gifts that you can unpack on your journey. So here's the first one. You give up when things get hard. That's the first pitfall. And so the nature of the inner work, it comes in cycles. You start to do the inner work, you start the mirror exercise, you may watch Twin Flame Ascension School, you may practice the teachings of union, and then you feel better. You feel great. You're walking along, and then a block comes up just when you thought you've healed it, right? And so what I see happening and what I've experienced in my own heart to a degree is when that next block comes up, there's some people that have a tendency to take that and then kind of quit or give up, right? The thing is, when you're doing your inner work and you're going deeper into your own consciousness, you are going to reveal the deeper blocks. It's natural. They're going to come up. Better out than in, they say. So those are the blocks that have already been there. And it's not a time for you to tell yourself that you're not doing good enough, that you're not doing your inner work well enough. That's not the case. It's that these bigger challenges are arising because you're ready for them. God would never give you something you weren't ready for. So here's a quote that I actually adopted into almost like a mantra on my twin flame journey, or on my ascension journey in general. This is from Jeff and Shaleia. Persistence through the resistance guarantees success. Persistence through the resistance guarantees success. So when you're in a block and it seems very challenging, persist through it. Just put one foot in front of the other. And also support really does help, but I'm going to get to that in a little bit. So when I have experienced really challenging moments on my journey, sometimes it feels like I'm in these challenges for like days, but I oftentimes remember Atreyu from the Neverending Story walking with Artex the horse through the swamp of despair. And, you know, as long as you continue to have faith and push forward, you can see Atreyu trudging through the mud, right? He doesn't know how long he has to get to that turtle mountain, whatever that was called. I forgot its name, but he doesn't know how long he has to get there. And he just puts one foot in front of the other. And that's exactly how to get through really challenging moments. You don't need to be hard on yourself or pressure yourself with undue pressure, but you do need to just simply put one foot in front of the other and don't give up. So that's like the number one challenge, the number one pitfall. Let's go to number two. The pitfall number two is expecting things to happen to you, not through you. So this is where we see, people waiting for their twin flame to change, or waiting for change to happen, or waiting to feel better. And you might notice if you say sentences like, I'll finally feel better when this happens, like an if, when, or if then sentence, an if, when, that is placing your joy, your happiness outside of you at a later date or time, right? That's when you will always feel like a carrot is dangling in front of you. There's no external carrot. It's everything here, everything inside of your heart. So when you wait for something to happen, that doesn't work. Also, along with, expecting things to happen to you, you're basically like, I see people coming to try this work and not actually engaging with it, but kind of listening to it from the outside. It's like going to a gym and not lifting weights and then feeling upset because your muscles or your body isn't changing at all, right? It's important for you to understand that you are the key player here. You're the protagonist here. You're the one who slays the demons. Nothing else is being done for you in that way. It's happening through you. Now, don't be confused, because you're not the source of your love. And I remember in the Twin Flames Romance Attraction e-course, Shaleia says, God is the love in which I love myself. And so the source of the love is within you, but it's not you. So you don't have to depend on your own self to be your source. You're going to get really tired and worn out. So instead, surrender to God within you, to surrender to that power that's within you. It's important for you to practice, right? Like, so the teachings of union is a spiritual practice. It's not a quick fix. It's something for you to understand as a process, and it can be a beautiful process. So I remember Jeff and Shaleia talking in Twin Flame Ascension School about, rowing your boat from one shore to the next shore. And it's not about actually getting to the shore. I mean, that's a type of goal, but you start to fall in love with the work and the rowing, right? In this case, that's the mirror exercise and working through your blocks and challenges. And that starts to become the goal. The journey, the path is the goal. And so it's important for you to start to walk the path so you can actually enjoy it and love it. Here's a quote by Jeff and Shaleia. There's no way to have your twin flame without actually doing the work, looking within, and resolving every piece. So it's the work of the day. And it's important to understand that you have support here. You're not doing it alone. But just like a Sherpa guiding someone up a mountain, the Sherpa can't walk your steps for you. They can only guide the way. You have to choose to put your feet one in front of the other and walk. Here's another quote by Jeff and Shaleia. You do the work with God, and God brings you your harmonious union. So this is something that is kind of tricky, I think, for a newcomer to understand. As you're doing the inner work, and your success on the twin flame journey depends on you doing the inner work, but it's God through you that brings you your desires manifested. You bring yourself the desires in your heart with God, and that's reflected externally. So here's pitfall number 3. You become dependent on external support. I see people kind of not, it kind of goes in line with like number 2, like they're not really being responsible with their inner work. They're saving up their upsets for their next coaching session if they have a coach. They're not writing out the mirror exercises. They're not going into the open forum and reading. They're not watching Twin Flame Ascension School. They're not, whatever it is, right? It's depending on someone else to give you the truth rather than seeking it for yourself. And I struggled with this one because for a time, I had a lot of trouble telling what was true and what was false. I thought I knew the answers. And I realized that a lot of things that I thought were false or limiting beliefs. And they were tricky. They had little roots or tendrils everywhere. And I had to go to each of those places and kind of unhook them through the process of this inner work. But through that, then I developed a second issue, which was that I didn't feel like I could tell what was true, objective truth, and what wasn't. And so I became dependent on other people to tell me this is true, this is not true. And that's equally dangerous. So arrogance and overdependence, I think they're two sides of the same coin. So how do you resolve this? Well, it's about a process of learning. It's about surrendering to God within you. You're going to surrender to peace and then just become better and better at taking steps based on your inner guidance system, stepping forward and finding out if your inner guidance system was correct. The first way to tell if your inner guidance system is correct is, does it feel peaceful? Not a quick fix getting high kind of peaceful. That's not actual peace. It's more, does this feel in alignment? Does it feel right? Well, if the answer is yes, and take all the time you need to get clear, then move forward with it. If 1,000 people, boo your words, that doesn't mean that it wasn't the right choice, right? What other people say and do in response to you taking a step with God has no impact on the truth. The truth is the truth, right? But it is a matter of you taking steps and finding out. I really love the Twin Flames Universe community because it's a check and balance system. So maybe you might have done something a certain way, and then that way was found out that it didn't work well. And the community itself is a perfect system to weed out places that are not loving. And this is what Jeff and Shaleia have communicated to us. So, if you find that you're out of alignment, you don't need to depend on the external cues. You trust your heart, but just surrender and relax when you receive feedback from a community that you trust. All right, so misalignment number 4 on the Ascension journey is mismanaging newfound loving energy. So the teachings of union are very high vibration. When you watch Twin Flame Ascension School, class after class, you're going to feel better just simply by watching and listening to the teachings. When you do the mirror exercise, you are going to amplify the love that you're giving yourself, mirror exercise after mirror exercise. And the teachings shift you up to a higher vibration. But what ends up happening is sometimes when people receive that higher vibration, like, wow, this is amazing. It's like winning the lottery over and over again every time you do a mirror exercise. But I see some people take this energy and mismanage it. And here's what I mean. So there's a couple different ways. So you might feel so good and so confident, and then maybe you're not in contact with your twin flame, and then you go and try to talk with your twin flame, and your twin flame's like, stop talking to me, you're crazy, leave me alone. And they block you. And you come back to your coach and you're like, what happened? I was feeling so good, and I felt good enough to tell my twin flame that we were twin flames. Well, the thing is, you don't need to tell them you're twin flames for them to be your twin flame. You don't need to take the love that you receive here and like dump it into your twin flame or another person. So for example, you might feel really joyful about these teachings, and it's very natural to want to share these teachings with others. That's a natural part of receiving, is giving, right? But I see some people try to give these teachings to people who aren't open. So that's like in Christ's time in Matthew 7, verse 6, do not give what is holy to dogs, and do not throw your pearls before swine, or they will trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. It's a very, very, very clear part of the Bible scriptures. So don't give pearls to swine. How can you tell, though, if someone is not receiving the teachings? Well, you offer, right? It's not that you hide, you offer, you extend. And you can see whether they're returning to you to just get your energy and get the good juice that you've cultivated for yourself, or whether they're desiring to actually cultivate that for themselves by having a direct relationship with the teachings themselves. And you're only going to find out through time and experience. So let yourself take that journey. But when the other person is clearly communicating that they're not open, that their actions are repeatedly coming back to you for more of your good energy that they drain out of you, then you need to change your behavior. You don't need to cut someone out of your life, but have some boundaries. What I do is I will share with someone about the teachings of union, and if the person is continuing to try to get things from me, get loving energy from me without actually trying to work on or helping themselves, then I'll just direct them to the resources. So here's the free Introductory Twin Flame Ascension course. Here's the blog. Here's our YouTube channel. Here's the Church of Union. I think you'll love these things. And I gently guide them to the resources. And if they continue to want me to be their source, I have a boundary. And sometimes I have to say the boundary. If they're not getting, what I'm giving them, I have to communicate that boundary. And so you can do so with love. Boundaries are loving. And managing your energy properly, when you're not leaking your energy, when you go through the process of revealing what's going on with your energy, when you start to seal up those leaks, you're going to find that God gives you more. When you're able to be responsible with spiritual energy, then you're able to have more spiritual energy come to you, positive energy come to you. Okay, let's go to the fifth pitfall on the Ascension journey. The fifth pitfall is lacking gratitude or acknowledgement for all victories. So these are victories that you might deem big or small. This might be, saying, oh, my twin flame hasn't unblocked me, and feeling really bad about that, and seeing someone else have a lot of success, and you might feel bad, and you might say, oh, well, I don't have that. This reminds me of what Shaleia says in the Romance Attraction e-course, where she encourages us to bless people who are experiencing romance that come into our visual, right? Like that if you see somebody embracing and exchanging romance and love, then bless them. And blessings move energy forward, she says. So that is for you. When you experience something that someone else has that you're desiring in your heart, actually, that is God communicating to you and inviting you into that energy. So that is for you. And I want you to try on experiencing gratitude for everything, every little blessing in your life. When I was a cancer patient, it really gave me a lot of gratitude for what I did have that worked. I was grateful for my legs, my arms, my eyes, my voice, the fact that I could walk, the fact that I could eat food. And I mean, those are things that I saw immediately when I was going through a really challenging time. So challenges sometimes help you to see what you can be grateful for. But it's important to be proactive about gratitude too, and try every day writing a gratitude list. I know that many of you on the spiritual path have heard of gratitude lists before, but they're around for a reason. People talk about them because they're very effective at showing you positive energy that's in your life right now. So whether or not you have the external thing that you desire with you, you can be grateful for everything you have because those are blessings. Each good thing in your life is a blessing from God. And so when you're grateful for those things, God can give you more. The next piece of that is that gratitude is a natural response to a gift. When someone gives you a gift, it's natural to be grateful for that gift. It's natural to say thank you for that gift and be grateful. You know, how many of you have seen a child that has not learned yet gratitude? I believe it might be something taught, spiritual education, but a child that's given like a treat, and the moment that they receive it, I want another, why didn't you give me more, right? That energy is sometimes what we communicate to God. Hey, you know, why didn't you give me more of this? Or I just got unblocked. I wanted a text message from my twin flame. That's not fair, you know. That's not gratitude. And when you allow yourself to celebrate those small victories, what actually aren't small, all victories are the same size, then you're going to have a lot more that you start to see and then amplify in your life. Such a great thing, gratitude. So here's a quote from Paramahansa Yogananda on gratitude. Open your eyes and see the good that you now have, and then keep alert and alive to recognize each new manifestation as it comes to you. Speak with devotion to the Father and thank Him for all the good things of life. He is with you always, and nothing can interfere with success if you acknowledge the divine power within you. So I hope that you enjoyed or received a lot from this sermon on those 5 pitfalls. There's other pitfalls, but those are the 5 that I have moved through on my own ascension journey, and I wanted to provide you some clarity and support. Remember that change is possible as long as you commit and persist and embrace the journey. Just like that analogy with the canoe, you know, rowing across the river, start to embrace the journey itself. It can be very beautiful, and you can be very proud of yourself for committing to this path. That's such a nice feeling. And keep engaging with the teachings of union in the community. Let the community help you. And step by step, you will attain harmonious twin flame union. Now for our closing prayer. Father, I accept your word into my heart. I will honor your will in my life and will follow you without hesitation anywhere you ask. I know you guide me into your heart where I belong. I accept that you are everywhere and your teaching is in all things. God, I know you provide me clarity in this teaching of union, that I may be forever in union with you. I accept that you are in me as you are in my brother. I will not deny my brother your word and will share your teaching with him in any way you ask and only as you ask. For when I share my salvation with him, I fully claim my salvation and return to you with him. In Christ's name, Amen. Speaking this prayer in your heart means you have accepted that you are on the path of awakening to your true divine nature. This is what it means to be a unionist. Follow the teachings of union with God wherever you find them, and purify your consciousness into perfect union with your Creator. And now for our closing alms. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a blessed day.
Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you all enjoyed the sermon. It was such a beautiful piece, and I think everyone has received some takeaways from it, because it's a kind of a sermon where it sums up those 5 obstacles, pitfalls that arise in each one of our journey. Maybe not all, but like Lisi mentioned, it could be a few of them, or more or less, it could be all also. And I love the way Lacey has compiled it, very clearly stating the 5 pitfalls and the solutions to it immediately after that. And very clearly, it appears that the solutions lie in the teachings of unionism, because the solutions were given mostly by the quotes by Jeff and Shaleia. So it feels like everything is here. We have it all here with the Twin Flame Ascension School and the teachings of unionism. And all we need to do is to embrace all of that whenever we feel stuck or in doubt, or we feel there's some kind of a pitfall that we are in. All we need to do is get back to the teachings and understand. And this sermon tells us that it's all there. It's you have all the solutions with you. You just need to be present with it. You need to be aware with it. And this sermon kind of alerts us, makes us aware that how we can handle it. I like the 5 pitfalls, which I would just quickly summary over here. One, when we are on the journey, we are doing the mirror work, we're doing the work, we kind of face blocks again, and then we feel we are doing something wrong. Doubts come in, we start getting judgmental. So that was pitfall number 1, which I think has happened with me number of times. Pitfall number 2 is about looking outside, waiting for our twin to make the changes, waiting for the twin to make some physical, movements, some choices, or do something so that we can feel sure about our journey. And there, Lizzie tells us to just keep going and just keep trusting the process, enjoying the process, and the process, making the process as our journey. As our destination, and not, the harmonious union alone as our destination. Just enjoying the journey is the key. And pitfall number 3, Lizzie talks about is, depending on people. Like I told you, I was depending on my coach, and Lizzie also confessed that she has been depending on others to tell her whether something is right or wrong. So that's an energy leak which she talks about, and how to handle it is by listening to our own intuitive voice. Pitfall number 4 that Lizzie talks about is, not being able to balance our own energies. When we are not able to balance the energies, the high energetic energy that we receive by this inner work, and by all that we receive over here with the teachings of union, if we are not able to hold it, we kind of spill it all over the place. And she very nicely describes it, that we might want to tell our twin flame, we might want to tell people, we might want to convince everybody about the twin flame journey, because we are so happy, we want everybody to know about it. But then that's not the right attitude, and that's also an obstacle, because it's all about putting the energy back into you and keep doing the work. Pitfall number 5 that Lizzie talks about is having gratitude on the journey, having acknowledging every small thing, every small victory that's happening. And she emphasized that victory, small or big, doesn't matter, just moving is important. And also, when we look at couples, I love that when Lisi says that when we look at couples, we need to look at them with the attitude of blessing them. And she stated Sheila's quote also about it over there, and it's a beautiful sermon. It like kind of makes us feel more empowered, and more oriented in our journey. So I hope you all enjoyed the sermon, and I would now like to invite you to unionism.org and donate over there. And you can watch our previous sermons over there, and you can please like our YouTube channel. And there you would not only find the previous sermons, you would also get to hear and watch the after tea time discussions. These are discussions done by our unionists on the topics of the sermons, and they share their viewpoints over there. In case you want to be a part of this after tea time discussion, you can be live with them on our Facebook group. And I'm so thankful to all of you for joining us for today's sermon. Thank you, Lisi, for this beautiful piece, and see you all next week. Thank you. Namaste.